Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On this circuit, the world's greatest motor race is run. Alright, I'm going to stop quoting the movie Le Mans, but it's appropriate because the Le Mans Legends Pack just came out for Project Cars 2, and it's, in my opinion, the greatest DLC pack that has ever come out in sim racing, period. Not only do you get 9 cars from various years of the 24 hours of Le Mans, but you get this, what you're looking at. A period-correct and incredibly accurate version of the 1971 layout of the Circuit de la Sarthe, which of course hosts the 24 hours of Le Mans. It's just absolutely jaw-dropping, this track. It's gorgeous. It looks like there was no expense spared. As you can see, there's actually accurate signage and signboards on the track, which is something that's kind of unique to Project Cars 2. All the other classic tracks have kind of parodies of the classic Champion spark plugs and BP motor oil and all the things that adorn modern or classic tracks. This has them. And of course, the Mulsanne Straight, unmolested by chicanes, and boy is it crazy. 200 plus miles per hour in 1970s machinery, and as you can see, the draft is incredibly important down the Mulsanne. The other interesting thing about this layout of Le Mans is that there are absolutely no Porsche curves. It's pretty much a straight shot all the way from Arnage down to the Ford chicane. And I say pretty much because there's a couple very treacherous corners, including Maison Blanche, which is an absolutely butt-clenching corner if there ever was one. And there's the signaling pits, another part of Le Mans that's kind of been lost to the sands of time. But I'm going to stop talking about the track now and talk about the car I'm going to be driving. The Ferrari 512M, which is a new car for this pack, and specifically, I'm going to be driving the Team Penske Sunoco version of this car. It did race at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1971. It was actually the only Ferrari that really was a threat to the Porsches in that race, and in fact, throughout the World Endurance Championship for 1971. For whatever reason, Roger Penske, well, because he's Roger Penske, was able to outfox the factory-supported Ferraris and build a 512M that was significantly better than what the Ferrari factory was coming out with. Of course, the 512M looks an awful lot like a Porsche 917 because it's kind of a clone of the Porsche 917 after Ferrari had their proverbial butts kicked in the 1970 24 Hours of Le Mans by the very nice-looking Porsche 917. So, without any further ado, without any more talking, let's run 6 laps here at the Circuit de la Sarthe in the 1971 layout. This is going to be nuts. Here we are, ready to go at Le Mans. Just like the 1971 version, we are doing a rolling start because it was the first year that they used a rolling start. Prior to that, they started cars stopped in the pit lane, and the drivers ran across a hot racetrack to get in their cars. Yeah, cooler heads prevailed on that one, but we're underway and already past one of the 1970 versions of the 512 Ferrari. Gonna come up behind the other one. Had to put the brakes on through turn 1 because he definitely gave me a little bit of a chop there underneath the Dunlop Bridge flat out down to the first real corner complex on this track, which is this left-right chicane, which is still kind of here in the current version of the track, though it's much different. Diving underneath one of the Ferraris and looking in behind my Sunoco Penske teammate as we head through Tetra Rouge and out onto the Mulsanne Straight. 3 wide underneath the teammate and one of the 1970 Ferraris. Get them both, and now in behind the Langheck Golf 917. Now that car is going to be the tough one today. That car is capable of over 240 miles an hour down this Mulsanne Straight and is very, very fast. It actually qualified on the pole in the real-life 24 Hours of Le Mans for 1971. And the car I'm driving qualified 4th, just for comparison. But look at the draft here on the Mulsanne, and you can see how much it matters as the 1970 version powers past me down the straightaway, and the Langheck Porsche was absolutely gone. As we head down the back straightaway here, very, very, very quick into the Mulsanne kink here. Gonna have to lift off just a little bit. Keep the car underneath me, very close, actually making a little bit of contact as the car directly behind me, but I managed to avoid any problems. Now into the Mulsanne corner, and there's a crash already. One of the 917s got turned. The Langheck Porsche was in trouble. Had a car underneath me. It was another one of the 1970 versions of the Ferrari. But it's okay. Now coming up behind the 917 Porsche. Absolutely on his deck lid right there. And actually this portion of the track is very similar to the way it is today. As we head down into Indianapolis, just a little bit of extra runoff these days. Whoa, that was a big, big move there. And I somehow managed to hold on to it, even though I granny shifted big time. Going into Indianapolis, now into Arnage. Very crucial corner on this version of the track, because it's more or less flat out for the rest of the lap. Of course, this is the run to the Porsche curves nowadays, but right where we would turn off for the Porsche curves, we now go straight and into a kink right here, which is very difficult to do in traffic, and I'm almost making a mistake there, going a little too far on the grass. Definitely kicked up some dirt down to Maison Blanche. Getting on the brakes, catching the car. It was a little bit squirrely through there. Thankfully, it's okay. Now down to the Ford chicane. Going pretty easy on it here. Early on into second gear. I think second gear is the best gear for this corner because you can really power it on onto the main straightaway, get a nice acceleration underneath the 1970 Ferrari and pass him. So down into turn one, flat out once again underneath the Dunlop Bridge, this time at well over 180 miles an hour down through here. Hard on the brakes, a little too hard on the brakes. Actually, outbraked myself just a little bit there. The 1970 Ferrari almost came up the inside of me. Still being able to hold on to the back of the Langheck Porsche. Let's see how long that lasts here. So went through Tetra Rouge there on the back of the Porsche. Let's see if we can hang with him here. Gonna try to stick in his draft as best I can. Gonna have some good acceleration on him, but once he gets into fifth gear, he's gonna be gone. And I believe he's already into fifth gear, so kind of got to hope he gets held up by these shorter tail 917s, which I believe are leading the show right now. And I dare look behind me, and there's nobody really coming, so we've at least been able to draft with the right people down the Mulsanne here, but you can just see the speed of the LH Porsche. Just gone. Probably got a good 10-15 mile an hour advantage over my car. And my car tops out at about 232 miles an hour, so it just tells you something, doesn't it? Oh man, that's a high commitment corner at 230 miles an hour right there. Over the crest of the hill, you can get a little bit of air if you're directly behind somebody on that. Down into third gear. Down into first gear. Still a traffic jam at the Mulsanne hairpin. I'll take advantage of that. Past the Salzburg Porsche. Now coming behind the other John Wyer car, but this John Wyer Porsche is a short tail version. Whoa, 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 whoa. Grass is not your friend. Grass is not your friend. Neither are cars coming up my inside. That is not fun. Again, those dirt banks outside these Indianapolis and Arnage are not very fun. All right, down behind the John Wyer car. Come on, get on the throttle, get on the throttle. Okay, not bad. Up a gear. Up into fourth. Yeah, the Porsche's got better acceleration than me. Look at him pull away here. Hopefully I'll be able to catch him up a little bit. Get up into fourth gear for the kink. And we're going to be headed into Maison Blanche. The car was very unstable. Try to back Maison Blanche up a little bit, which I did. Got a really good run here. I should be able to pass him, outbrake him into the Ford chicane. Nope. He trusts his brakes a little bit more. I actually slam into the back of him there, because I trusted my brakes too much there toward the end of the lap. So through turn one once again behind the John Wyer Porsche. Porsches because the LH car is right there as well. Down 2 gears. Try to keep the car near the walls, but not too close to them. You have to kind of brake early for Tetra Rouge. And I still didn't get the power down quite as well as I would have liked. The John Wyer Porsche just pulls away a little bit. Hopefully he doesn't have too much of a draft from his big brother there. In the 5th gear, yeah, he's starting to pull me just a little bit. And I do have another Porsche 917 behind me. He might help me out, though. He might give me a little bit of a draft from behind, which will push me up into this car ahead. Hopefully that's how it all works out for me. May have damaged my front aerodynamics just a little bit when I hit him going into the Ford chicane, so that might not be helping my straight line speed very much. Here comes the Salzburg Porsche. He's going to get past. Just look at the draft. When you get a good draft here on the Mulsanne, there's nothing you can do about it. And they're going to go side by side into there. That's an ill-advised move. That's ill-advised, ill-advised, ill-advised. I had to back out of the throttle there because I wasn't sure exactly who was going to hit who in that situation. Look at that. Actually outbraked the John Wyer Golf car. Salzburg car I had nothing for, but... Alright, we go up a position. And this should be a section of the course that this 512 works much better in because of the slow speed corners and the acceleration out of the corners. Kind of generally favors this car, I think, over the Porsches. Oh, that was a butt clincher right there. I was out on the grass and I thought I was going to get sucked into the wall. And again, just... Well, now I'm overdriving the car. That's not helping. Woo! Well, this car does have an advantage in that section if you don't drive like a complete monkey. But I did that, so that's a bit of a shame. Looks like the LH Porsche has moved up into the lead, if I'm not mistaken. I may be running pretty well right now. I don't know exactly where I am in the running order. And I'm not going to try to look because I didn't get a signal from the signaling pit, so I don't know. Woo! Oh, a little bit of wall contact out of freaking Maison Blanche. Good God, man. Good God. And I'm going to get past because that was a bad corner. Lucky I only got past. But look at that. That's second gear. I stayed in second gear for the Ford chicane. And now I'm going to get an excellent run off of the corner underneath the John Wyer Porsche. Side by side through turn 1. Underneath the Dunlop Bridge, still side by side. The Porsche actually has the legs on the straightaway. And I had to lift, or I had a bad corner there. I caught the inside wall. Woohoo! Some good racing though. Again, just bad through Tetra Rouge. How many cars do I have behind me? Thankfully, nobody really particularly close. I may be able to salvage a little something here. Oh, but that 917 is just faster in the straight line. Just faster in the straight line. Nothing I can do about that right now. I just need to stick in this draft as long as I can. Hope he makes a mistake in the Mulsanne kink. And then I'll just try to drive better than him on the second half of the track. That's really all I can really do. And here comes one of the Ferraris, and another one of the Porsches, and another one of the Ferraris. They are flying on this Mulsanne Straight. Oh, back into my car, almost kicked around. What the heck was that guy thinking? Good grief. Yeah, I have the AI aggressiveness down at 40%. Apparently I didn't turn him down enough because good grief. Somehow my car survived that, despite the fact that I would have literally been dead in real life if that had happened, but okay. We'll keep going. Definitely lost a couple of positions there that I didn't need to lose. Car feels alright, so we'll continue on. Down to third gear for the run into Indianapolis. Down into Indianapolis, catch that apex. And brake too late in Arnage, completely ruined my lap. I need to get Maison Blanche way better than I did the last time. And again, I've kind of got to hope that they hold each other up. Hold each other up, guys. Come on. Grab 5th gear just for stability's sake. Didn't work. Didn't work. Okay, well that was smart. At least I should be able to go flat out through Maison Blanche, despite the fact that I caught the wall. Oh, I've got damage, that's why. 10% on the front. That would explain. I don't quite have the front end grip anymore. And it should be getting dark as well. I did set it to be fairly accelerated time-wise. We'll see how dark it actually ends up getting in 6 laps, or at the end of 6 laps, so it's definitely sunset right now. Now I'm just going to try to run a clean lap. Definitely right out on the edge of the track. But this is just, I mean, yeah, sure, Project Cars for sure has a lot of problems, and one of those is the fact that on my Xbox One I can really only run about 13 AI. Now some people have been telling me that I can run more than that. I haven't really experimented with it yet, but it seems to me like higher numbers of AI still kind of break the physics. But my god, like this right here, driving down the Mulsanne Straight in a Penske Ferrari on the 1971 version of Le Mans, like this is stuff we dreamed about, and people actually went out of their way to create on R Factor. I know that the Virtua LM version of Le Mans is just absolutely incredible, and there's a few other versions of this on R Factor, but for an officially licensed game to do this in the way that they've done it is just absolutely spectacular and kind of like unbelievable, because this is the stuff we would have begged Forza to do for us years ago, or Gran Turismo or whoever, and they never did it. And even like Assetto Corsa, which has classic cars like this and classic tracks with all the logos and stuff, they never tackled Le Mans. So this is kind of cool that somebody finally did it, and it's here. And just look at how the visibility is just not very good right now. Yeah, as you can see, because I just punted a car off the track because I couldn't tell where the hell I was going. Whoopsie! A little bit of a slide into Indianapolis, out towards the dirt bank. Thankfully I didn't run over that like in the movie. I know my friend Deductive Rain pointed that out to me, that they have the banks like in the movie. And actually Deductive Rain helped me get this DLC a little bit early as well, which was kind of funny. A little bit of a life hack for you coming up. If you set your Xbox to New Zealand time and New Zealand time zone, you'll actually get it early, which is kind of funny. You can get it like 12 hours early, which we did, and we had fun last night playing this DLC. Now to Maison Blanche. Thankfully that Ferrari didn't try to pass me through there, so there's at least some sanity prevailing in this. Now I've got to try to find my braking zones at night, which is going to be a bit of a point of contention. The 1970 Ferrari gets a better run off the corner. That was probably the last lap. Watch. Oh no, this is the last lap. Okay. So we're going to race this car right here. We're going to try to make it a show. Coming into the last lap with a damaged Ferrari. Racing another Ferrari. But hey, this is what Le Mans is all about, right? Oh, the car got very up in the air. It got very light, I guess you could say, over the hill.
You're all over his mirrors. This time, take him on this lap. See if you can force him into an error and slip past.
See what I can do in his draft. Hopefully I get something out of this. Definitely out-accelerating him, there's no doubt about that. But he may be geared for speed, not acceleration. Oh, and he's definitely geared for speed, because bye-bye Ferrari. If I had a webcam, you would have seen me wave right there, but unfortunately not. Just look at the freaking sunset. Beautiful. Yeah, this car is hurting right now. So what happens when you get thrown into the wall at 230 miles an hour by a not very sporting Ferrari. Now I know how Mike Rockenfeller feels. So we've got another car coming up here behind me. It's a Porsche 917. And maybe I shouldn't be looking at my mirrors as I go into the kink. No, it's not a 917. It's my teammate. Oh no, I've been passed by my teammate. That's not good. All right, we need to win Roger Penske's favor back in the last lap here. Oh, the car is just jinking all over the place. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch my teammate there. He is very fast. You can just see the headlights disappear into the night. How cool is this? How cool is this? Alright, braking zone. Where is the braking zone? I think it's here. Good enough. Some people say they drive better at night because they can't see the things that make them afraid anymore. Not sure if that's necessarily true. There's always the fear of the unknown, I suppose. Yeah, I think I'm going to try this again with some different cars. For sure. Because this was an awful lot of fun. And I'd definitely like to drive a little bit better and not get run over. Try to find some AI settings that maybe are a little bit better. Well, we'll see. Just have to lift into the kink now because the car is very, very damaged. And Maison Blanche is completely dark. I have no idea where everything... I almost hit the wall there. My God, that corner at night. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Alright, second gear. Just bring it home, David. Just bring it home. Through the chicane. Out onto the main straightaway. The 12 hours of Le Mans is over. And I survived somewhat. So yeah, leading at 12 hours was the LH Porsche 917. No real surprise there. That car, if it wouldn't have had mechanical difficulties, probably would run away with the race regardless. But let's take a look at the full running order. The Martini Porsches were second and third. Then we had another Salzburg car and the first of the Ferraris. And yeah, let's see where we finished. We actually did a 3:11, which is a really good lap time around here. But 11th place overall, only beating a couple of Ferraris, and one of those retired. Interesting. So a car crashed on lap number 4. Don't know if I was involved in that or not. I guess we'll see on the or you guys will have already seen on the replay. But yeah, how cool is that? Well, I would have shown you a replay in this video about all of the things that happened, but it appears the replays, at least for this race, are now broken. So, I don't know if this is an across-the-board Project Cars 2 things, and I hate to leave the video on a negative note, but, yeah, it seems like the replays, for whatever reason, may have been broken in the most recent update, but who knows? It may just be my problem.